Okay, welcome to Euron guys, and in this lecture everyone I'm going to talk about a setup, a Python setup, not just in one single environment. Obviously I know and I completely understand and I'll agree that at the end of the day all of you are going to use only one environment to execute your Python code, and even I'm doing the same thing, right? But it's better to know all kind of an environment, at least a popular one, right? Because there are hundreds of environment where you can go and you can try to execute your Python code. But I'll be talking about all the popular ones. So first of all, I'll be talking about a Python environment setup in your local system, which is a VScode. Then I'll be talking about a Jupyter notebook setup in that VScode, again into a local system. Then I'll be talking about a Google Collab, so where you can try to do like a Python coding, and that is that too without doing any kind of installation over there. Then I'll be talking about a PyCharm installation. Then I'll be talking about a Cursor, which is a AI based IDE. So where they have built a AI wrapper on top of the open source version of a VS Code. Then I'll be talking about a Windsurf, again similar to a Cursor, which is getting a lot of popularity nowadays. And then I'll be talking about a Google Firestudio, which is again amazing product which has been launched from a Google side. And I'll be talking about even a Realit. So Realit is again an online platform, so where you can go and you can try to do a coding. In between, I'll be talking about a couple of more things in terms of doing a Python setup and installation. So this video is going to be a little bit long, and I'm going to provide you a proper documentation for this particular lecture, so that at any point of a time, whenever you have to go for the setup, just follow the things and just follow the documentation, and in no time you will be able to do a setup. And believe me, it's very easy, right? It's very easy. Lecture wise, obviously I have to cover each and everything, but believe me, setup for on this one of these platforms just takes not more than 1 or 2 minutes of time, right? It's very easy. So let's move into that direction and let's try to do a Python setup in our local system. So let's get started, guys. Let me have my water first. So let's get started with a setup. So here, let me open up first of all Google, and setup wise, right? So first of all, you are trying to do a setup for a Python. So Python must be installed inside your system. Same thing I'm going to mention inside a documentation as well. So either you can watch the entire recording, or maybe you can go through a documentation which is available inside your dashboard, right inside this particular lecture, and you will be able to get everything. So here, right? So here what you can do is you can try to search for maybe a Python Python download, because you are trying to do a Python installation. So download Python, this is the very first link, and then you can try to select your machine. So by default, it will be able to understand your machine. As you can see, it is able to understand that I'm using a Windows machine, right? So just click over here. This is a latest version of a Python which is available. You will be able to find out even a previous release, but yeah, always try to go ahead with the latest version. And again, so we can try to even configure a Python environment with the older version. Anyhow, that I'm going to teach you inside your class lecture itself. So download a Python in a very first place. Okay, it's failing for me because of my like IDE setup, not an issue at all. So maybe I can try to use different. Okay, so here click over here and then it is going to download. It's a very small file, only 27.3 MB for my Windows machine. It will be different, little bit different for a Linux and a Mac machine, but yeah, it is available for everything. Okay, so what you have to do is that once you are able to download, double click over here, and then next part is, so you have to do an installation. Now, whenever you are going ahead with the installation, please make sure that you are going to tick this option and you are going to tick this particular option, both of this option. In my system, it's already installed, so it is giving me these two options. Otherwise, you will be able to get only one option over here. But yeah, tick these two options by default, so that whatever you are going to install, whether it's a PyCharm, whether it's a VS Code, or whether it's a Windsurf, or whether it's a Cursor, it will be able to fetch all of these like a Python environment detail from here itself directly. Yeah. So please try to install this one and then click next. It will be able to install in no time, as you can see. So like in my system, it is giving me multiple options. Maybe I can try to check install now. I can try to click and then it will installing. I'm going to cancel it basically because it's already installed inside my system. So Python installation is must. And first and foremost thing, this is something that you have to do. So this is where you will be able to maintain and manage packages of a Python. Apart from that, right? Apart from that, so what you can do is you can try to do a Conda. So download. So Conda download. So there is something called as Anaconda distribution, which comes with the Conda distribution, by the way, name Conda. So total name is like Anaconda. So basically this is again a package manager. So Python is having millions and millions of packages. All these packages you will be able to find out inside a Conda. Again, with the help of PyPy, you can try to install it, you can try to download it, or maybe even a Conda. So here, right? So easily search and install thousands of data science, machine learning and AI packages, which is available inside Conda. So please try to download even this one and keep it inside your system. So to download this one, just give any of the email ID that you want and then click on submit, and it will start downloading automatically. So here for Mac, for Windows and for Linux, all these things are available for all three systems. And these are the very, very stable distribution. So I don't think that you are going to face any such kind of a problem. So it's a 951 MB of files. I'm going to download it. So first Python, second is Anaconda you are supposed to download. Now, either Python or Anaconda, again, either, right? Either of this, I can try to use it for my Python packages. Now, what is the meaning of this Python packages? What is the meaning of this Python library? Don't stress much as of now. It's your day zero, not even day zero. You're just trying to do a setup, right? So I don't want to like, talk about some fancy word, which is going to give you a kind of a feeling that, oh, it's like a very tough. I'll not be able to cope up with it. No, don't think anything about it. I'm just using one software, which is going to make my Python distribution available, library available to me. That's it for now, right? As we will move inside my class, obviously we'll try to understand more and more, and even we will be able to build such kind of a packages and we will be able to publish it. This is what we have done as a Euron AI. So you can go and check on PyPy package manager if you're aware about it. Otherwise it's fine, leave it. Okay. So Anaconda, you have to download and then click install, done, right? This is what you have to do. So second part is Anaconda. Now, third part is, so I need a interface where I can write a code, but even without doing that, so let's suppose I'm going to use my command prompt. So command prompt, and if I would like to test my Python, so I can just try to write Python over here, and it is going to open up my Python interface idle file over here, and 56 plus 67 I'm going to give something like this, and it is going to give me something. It simply means that Python is available inside my system, as simple as that. Even I can try to go and check that what is a Python version, Python Python space version, and inside my machine, okay, so spelling mistake, VERSION. So in my machine, so it's a 3.12.3, which is a Python version available inside my machine. And again, there are so many environments I have created already inside my machine for a different project. But yeah, that even you will be able to do it eventually going forward. Okay, so I can execute a Python. I can write maybe a print over here, print, print, and my name is Euron. Okay, hit enter, and yeah, it is able to print my name is Euron, obviously, right? My name is Euron. Okay, let's close it. So Python is installed. This is what I was trying to confirm. Now, once this is done, Python Anaconda is done, then what is next? So next you have to search for VScode download. Okay, a VScode download. So now what is VScode? VScode is going to be an interface where you can try to write a code now. So you can try to write a code even for a Java, C, C++, any other programming language, but majorly we are going to use it for a Python as of now. But yeah, in a later stage, if you're learning something different, you can just go ahead with that. So this is the link where you will be able to find out a VS Code for Windows, for like a Linux and for a Mac machine. Link is already mentioned inside your file as well. So now let me write down a conclusion. So first of all, like a Python installation you have to do. Python installation, and then Conda installation, and then we are trying to install VS Code over here, right? VS Code, which is nothing but it's a IDE, integrated development environment. Simple, right? This is the meaning of the IDE. So likewise, we are going to check even our different IDEs. So today, this class itself, we are going to check. Okay, so here just try to download. So for Windows, I'm going to download. In some time, it will start downloading. It's a lightweighted 103 MB of file. Once it will be downloaded, I'll just click over here and then I'll start installing. It is telling me that it's already running in my system. So I already have up and running in my system. So just click a step. All will be downloaded. Now, if I'm going to open up this one, let me close my current VS Code because I'm using it already. So VS Code. And here, so inside this VS Code, don't save, let me close everything that I'm using. So inside this VS Code, you can try to click on open folder. And let's suppose I'm going to create a folder called as Python English. You will be able to see a little bit of different screen in a beginning. So you can try to click on create folder and something like this. Once after creating a folder, you will be able to see, just create a folder, simple, just create a folder, right? And then you can try to create a file over here. You can try to create a packages over here. You can try to create a modules over here. Many more things you will be able to do. Or even you can try to configure a Jupyter notebook. So now let's try to understand how I can configure my VS Code. But before that, I believe you all have installed a Python. You all have installed this Conda and you all have installed this VS Code. Then so that's the reason. So we are now able to land into a VS Code. So here inside a VS Code, you have to install a couple of extension so that it is not going to give you any kind of a problem. Now, what kind of an extension you are supposed to install? Let me show you that part. So here extension is nothing but a separate like a system or file that we are going to install, like a kind of a wrapper we have to install over here. So we have to do a setup for Python and we have to do a setup for a notebook, a Jupyter notebook. So here I can try to search for Python and it is going to give me a lot of extension for a Python, but I'm not looking for all those like XYZ extension. So I'm looking for something from a trusted developer, and from Microsoft, you will be able to see a Python extension from Microsoft. This is the trusted one, right? Don't install everything. So here I'm getting an option to uninstall. You will be able to get an option of installing. So please try to click and then click on install, as simple as that, right? So that this Python extension will be installed automatically. Yeah, this Python extension will be installed automatically. Now, the another extension that you have to install over here is a Jupyter, so that I will be able to write a code Jupyter, Jupyter. So again, from a Microsoft, you can try to install a Jupyter notebook. So Jupyter cell tag, yeah, Jupyter, this one. From official, right? From Microsoft, you can try to install this Jupyter notebook so that I will be able to create a IPYNB file and I will be able to write my Python code inside that IPYNB file. So this is a Jupyter notebook, guys, that you have to create and then you have to install. Simple, click on install. Now, once this is done, once Python extension installation is done, so let me write it down over here. So once this inside a VS Code, Python and Jupyter extension installation done, right? Done. Then we can try to like test a VS Code that, okay, my Python code is running or not. And again, within 2 to 3 minutes, you all will be able to do it. So it's not a big deal. It's very easy peasy kind of a things. I don't think that it is going to give you any issue. If it is giving you any issue, so you have a WhatsApp group, so please ping me on a WhatsApp group. So either me or maybe some of your batchmates will be able to help you out. But yeah, generally we don't see any kind of issues as per my experience with my like lots of students. So here, what I can do is once everything is done, I have already created a folder. So I can right click, I can create a new file and I can create a file with maybe a test. So test.ipynb. So now this ipynb, IPython Jupyter notebook file is an extension for a Jupyter notebook, right? So hit enter and it is going to give you this kind of an interface. Now I can try to click on code and then I can try to write 1+1 over here. Now, once I'm going to write 1+1, I have to execute it. How I can execute? Either I can click here, then it is going to ask me for the very first time, select a Python environment, right? Because this is just an interface, right? It needs a Python so that it will be able to execute. So maybe I can try to check and then I can try to like create one environment, or I can try to use any of the Python environment which I have already installed, right? So here I'm going to use one of the environment and then I'm going to execute it. So kernel failed means this environment is not that good. If I have to change the environment, I have this option. As you can see, Python 3.12, I can change the environment, select another kernel and then Python environment. Maybe I can try to check this one and this environment has changed. Now I can try to execute and it's working. As simple as that. So to execute a code inside a cell, to execute any kind of a code, maybe I can write a print over here and then to execute it, that my name is Euron. So here I can try to execute it and yeah, so I can execute it by clicking here. I can execute it by using a shortcut. So shift enter or control enter is a shortcut, by the way. So either you can do shift enter or you can do a control enter. In both the way, it will be able to do the execution, or you can try to click on run all, or maybe click here. It will be able to run it. Simple. So this is a Jupyter notebook, guys. So whenever you are going to download, so it is going to download it in a form of Jupyter notebook IPYNV file. Now, if you are going to open it up in a text file or something, you will not be able to read the entire files. It is going to give you some clumsy kind of a data set. So always try to render it, always try to open it up in a IPYNV file. I have seen many fresher or many people who try to start for the very first time. They try to open up just a file by clicking, doing a double click on that. And they say that a file is not working, but yeah, you are using a wrong place to open up your file. You have to open up your file where a Jupyter extension is installed. So that's the reason. So we have installed a Jupyter over here, a Jupyter extension, right? This is supporting my Jupyter file. Now, not just Jupyter file, I can even create a file with the extension. So maybe like a test sudsud.py. So I can try to create a file with .py extension, .py Python extension, and then I can try to execute it. For example, I can write it down over here, print. So this is mentor Sudhanshu Kumar. Yeah. Control S. So this is basically a .py file. I can click here and then I can try to run it and it is going to give me the output. This is your mentor Sudhanshu Kumar, or I can just write like a Python over here and then file name. So what is the file name? Test Sudhanshu.py. So I can even try to execute it in this way. So I can use a command, or maybe I can try to use this one. And in both the way, I will be able to run it. I will be able to execute it, and we'll do these things so many times. You will get used to it. You will get used to the entire interface that we are talking about as of now. So yeah, this is like basically your Jupyter notebook inside a VS Code. Again, without even a Jupyter notebook, I am able to run it. I am able to execute each and everything. Now, moving to the next one, right? Moving to the next one. So VS Code setup in local is done. Now moving to the next one. So what we can do is, let's suppose I don't want to do an installation at all. I'm a beginner. I don't want to do an installation. Maybe my system is not that great. So let me talk about system as well. Okay, so okay, so what is a kind of a system which is required? So any system, anything which is more than like a i5, maybe 8th, 9th generation or latest generation. So it's completely fine with a 4 to 6 GB of RAM, right? With a main memory, it's completely fine. If you have any system above this, that's completely fine, right? But yeah, sometime even with some of the processes, this system is going to give you an issue, maybe with the heavy load when you are going to put, for example, if you're trying to do a deep learning or computer vision kind of a training, then maybe it is going to give you, not maybe, for sure it is going to give you the issues. Maybe you can try to opt for the cloud environment at that point of a time. So I'm not saying that change your entire system. You have a cloud platform option. You can try to use it. But here, so let's suppose I don't want to install a Python, but I would like to use some of the online solutions. So I have an online solution over here, Google Collab. So there is a Google Collab option which is available to you, which is going to give you a notebook kind of an option. So here you can try to just search for Collab. I'm going to attach a link even inside your documentation inside your dashboard, and then you can try to start with a new notebook. You will be able to see a Jupyter notebook over here. You will be able to save it inside a drive. You will be able to read a data. You will be able to do tons of all kind of operation without doing any kind of installation in your local system. For example, if I'm going to write 1+1 over here, right? And if I'm going to execute, so here you will be able to see that it's connecting, means it is allocating our resources, like a RAM it is trying to allocate. And here, so you can even go and check that it has allocated me like a 12.67 GB of RAM, this much of disk, which is available to me. And I can just happily go and use it, and it is able to give me like a final answer, right? It is going to give me the final answer. So I can write as much code as possible inside this Google Colab. So this is an online option. Plus it comes with a complete full scale environment. So you don't have to worry much about it. You can try to use this environment. You can try to execute. Here also you will be able to see extension of the file is basically IPYNB, and this name I can try to change. Maybe I can write it as SUDH IPYNB. I can even download it as a IPYNB, right? So there is a download option which is available to me. So as a IPYNB I can download. I can try to even open it up inside my VS Code, which is available in local, and then I can use it the way I want. And again, so once you will start coding, we'll try to use other options as well. But as of now, I believe this is the only thing that you should know. So another option you have is a Google Colab. So where you can try to go and then you can try to do a coding that you want. So this is another option, guys. So let me write it down here. So the another option is basically Google Colab, complete, online and free, simple, right? Again, so they have something called as Collab Pro, so which for which Google used to charge you $10 per month, I believe. I've not used it since very long time, the paid one, so I'm not sure about the charges as of now. But yeah, when I was using, so at that point of a time, it was $10. So maybe you can go and check with Google Collab Pro. It is going to give you more resources, means in terms of like a RAM and in terms of disk, it is going to give you more resources. Even in terms of GPUs, it is going to give you more and more. Maybe you can try to use it, but yeah, even in a free version, you will be able to do all kind of a task if you're not doing a heavy training then. Okay, so Google Colab is another platform, so you can try to use it to run your Python code. Now, coming to the next one. So what is the next platform that you will be able to use? The next platform or next like IDE is something called as PyCharm. So you can go and search for PyCharm Community Editions. Link you will be able to find out even inside your like dashboard. A documentation. So here PyCharm is another IDE you will be able to find out. Another IDE, integrated development environment, just like a VS Code, right? Just like a VS Code that we have used. So in the similar manner, you will be able to find out a PyCharm. I have been using a PyCharm like in the beginning of my career, but nowadays I'm not using it. I'm very much comfortable with the VS Code. But yeah, you can try this out. It's completely fine. PyCharm is also a popular one, and many people, many companies are using it. But again, it's not about ID. I can just write a code anywhere I want. As simple as that. So here you can click on downloads, and then it will start downloading. You can download it for Windows, for a Mac, as well as for a Linux. For all three systems, it's available. They have a paid version as well. So you can try to use a community edition, but yeah, you can try to use even a paid version if you want, which is not recommended, at least as a student. And again, it is not going to give you much of benefit as a student. But yeah, once you're going to join a company, maybe if company is going to give you a license, then it's fine, well and good. Otherwise, it's fine. I'm not using it, by the way. So I am not going to promote it. Okay. So this is a community edition, and then you can just try to like double click, and then you will be able to install it. So I think this is a community edition I have downloaded, if I'm not wrong. PyCharm setup, installation of the PyCharm. Next. Okay, so PyCharm I already have inside my system, so I'll not install it. I'll just show you. So just try to download PyCharm community, and then what you can do is you can try to search after installation. So I have both. I have basically like paid. I have a community both edition. So I'll just click on PyCharm community edition, and then you will be able to see a beautiful interface over here. I'll just close my previous project. I'll try to open up the new one. So file, and then new project. And then I can try to like give a project name. So the test over here, and then I can click on create. So automatically it is going to like create a project for me. So the test basically, and it will create an environment for me. And then I can start writing a code inside a PyCharm. So whatever code that I want, as simple as that. So whether you are using a PyCharm or whether you are using a VScode, not going to make much of differences. At the end of the day, code and logics are not going to change. And maybe whatever you have written inside a VScode, you can use it in PyCharm. Whatever you are writing into a PyCharm, you can use it in a VScode, vice versa. As simple as that. So PyCharm is another IDE that you can try to install in your local machine. Now what is next? So let's move towards the next one. That what next we are going to see. Okay, so many things I have written over here, I believe. Let me open up Scribble. Okay, so now PyCharm we have done, right? So PyCharm we have done. Again, PyCharm is going to need your Conda installation and Python installation that we have done in a very first place. That's the reason. So Python and Conda installation we have done in a very first place. These two installation we have done in a very first place, so that I will be using this two installation in PyCharm as well as inside the VS Code. So by default, they are going to use it. By default, it will be able to use it if you are going to set the path with the click that I have shown you when I was installing a Python. Okay, now moving next, guys. So there are some new latest cutting edge IDs came into a market. So what are those IDs, by the way? So one ID you will be able to find out from a Google site, apart from Collab, basically for building any kind of a project with the help of AI, and that is basically a Firestudio. So Firestudio, Google. So you will be able to find out this amazing things which Google has released recently. Firebase Studio, not download, just Google. Yeah. So Firebase Studio, you will be able to like see over here. Not let me click a link so where I can start directly. Firebase Studio. Yeah, here. So this link basically, and here, so I can just try to click on try Firebase Studio, and it is going to be an online one. It is having a AI integration into it. As you can see, I have created a couple of projects. Let's suppose I'm going to select Python, and then I'm going to give my project name, maybe a test, and I'm going to click on create. It is going to set up all the environment for me. I can even access a AI over here, so which is going to write a code, at least a template. It is going to give it to me. Everything is online. I don't have to do any kind of installation, zero load on my system. So Google Firebase Studio is an amazing like things which Google is building. And if Google is building something, obviously it is going to be amazing one, right? So here, as you can see, it has done all the setup. I can install any kind of extension. The base is again VS Code. As you can see, the base is again VS Code. So they are using an open source version of VS Code, and they have built their own wrapper on top of it. So base is ultimately a VS Code, plus they are giving you a AI capability over here. Interface is not going to change. The only thing is it's online. Yeah, the only thing is it's basically online, and is trying to do all the installation and whatever is required for me, and it is giving you a Gemini over here, right? As you can see, so you can keep on asking Gemini that do this for me, do that for me, and it will keep on running and it will keep on doing this thing. So it's an amazing thing, right? It's an amazing thing that Google has created, and again, like a haven for a developer, so that without like even going forward. So I think they're giving you an option whether as a team you will be able to collaborate. So without doing any kind of a payment, Firestudio 10 out of 10 from my side. Yeah, without making a payment as of now. Now, so Firebase Studio. Now, so let me write it down. So here, Firebase. Now, next one, which is getting very much like a popularity nowadays for coding, and that is basically a cursor. So CURSOR, cursor. So cursor AI or cursor ID, you can just go over here, download it, download for Windows, download for Mac or any other system. And then, so let me open up cursor. So I think cursor I have already installed. So CURSOR, cursor. So cursor is again another ID which is built on top of a VS Code itself. like a base VS Code, and then they have added a AI interface with cursor. So this is basically cursor, open project. Maybe I can try to like open anything I want. And then this is going to give me a flexibility. So where I can try to integrate, and I can go and do a vibe coding. I can just ask basically that, okay, these are the model with which it is going to connect, and then it is going to help me out in terms of doing a coding, right? So here I can just chat, and then it is going to solve a problem. It will keep on writing a code for me. So this is the beauty of a cursor, guys. You will be able to find out. But again, a VS Code, right? It's a VS Code, by the way. So cursor is another IDE. So where you can call any AI, by the way. A lot of AI is available over here. And then you can try to like keep on asking question, and it will keep on basically creating a project for you in an AI way. Now, the another, so okay, let me like go here and write it down. So cursor ID is one of the ID which is getting a lot of like a popularity. So again, this is basically ID, again, online. Cursor is going to charge you because they are going to give you an integration with other APIs, other basically like a LLM provider or like a AI provider. So they are going to charge you, but they have some free version, free tokens as well. You can go and explore that part. Now the another one is basically Windsurf. So I can just try to click on Google, close this, and then I can try to search Windsurf ID. So here Windsurf is again like a cursor, not very different, I would say. Same way they are giving you integration with like a AIs, a multiple AIs. So you can try to use even a Windsurf. Again, their pricing is almost equivalent. Now here, so if I'm going to, like I have already done the installation, so you can go and just do an installation in a no time. WINDSURF, Windsurf. So Windsurf interface wise, again, a VS Code interface you will be able to find out, because VS Code is open source, right? So everyone who is like trying to create these things, they are using like a same kind of interface. So, like vanilla version of VS Code they are using, they are trying to add AI on top of that. Maybe you can create your own. That's fine. It's not that difficult to create. So as you can see that they're giving you like a AI integration. That's it. Apart from that, just a VS Code. They will help you out in terms of debugging, code completions based on the vibe coding or prompting. So they are going to generate a code, the entire folder structure. And this way it's been configured, right? So you can try to use even a Windsurf. Let me write down that. So here, Windsurf. Windsurf you can try to use. Again, this is the ID. This is also ID. This is also AI based. This is basically AI based, and this is also AI based. So basically it is going to enhance your productivity a lot. Even my team is using cursor as of now, but yeah, sometimes they use this, sometimes they use this, sometimes they use like a Yuri, a lot of things they are trying to use. Even I personally use all of those things. Now here, this is fine. Then the next one is basically again online platform, and that is like a Realit basically. So there is a platform called as Realit. Likewise, there are so many platforms, but yeah, I'm going to show you with Realit basically. So I'm going to like a login over here, click on Google login, one step, and then I can try to like log in here. And I can try to maybe like click on apps. I can try to click on create Python apps, and then I will be able to get some sort of an interface over here. So where I can try to create a Python code or write a Python code, create an app, as simple as that, right? So any of this environment I can try to use as per my convenience, but yeah, choose once. Maybe you can go ahead with the VS Code local installation or a Google Collab in a first place. Then the entire world is yours, right? No one is asking you that, no, just do this one or just use that platform. No, not at all. As per your need, you can go ahead and then you can try to use whatever platform which is going to suit you, which is going to be convenient one. And as you can see that whether it's a cursor or it's a Firebase or it's a Windsurf, everyone is using like a VS Code itself, right? VS Code itself. So yeah, this is all about this lecture. It is going to take some time, but yeah, it's again like a web-based solution where you can go and write a Python code. And likewise, there are so many out there. There are so many out there. I'm not going to upgrade it, by the way. Okay, got it. So as you can see, there are like so many, I can write a Python code here, and then I can even, they're giving you a chat option. They are going to like show you the result over here. So many options they have given you inside this UI interface itself. But again, you have a choice. You have a lot of choice, Collab choice, you have Firebase choice you have. So you can just go ahead with whatever like suits you. My best approach is just use a VS Code in a local system with a Jupyter notebook installation. Simple, right? Simple, nothing fancy. And this is what I'm going to use it. This is where I'm going to write a code. And when AI will come into a picture, I will be using Euron, obviously, from a Euron ecosystem. And again, you all are supposed to use it because it's very much affordable, right? Very much affordable. And you have an API access, you have a chat access, a lot of things, right? A lot of things. So with that, guys, hope we all are now ready to start our journey of a Python and a DSA. Journey for like anything and everything with respect to upskilling in programming, coding, and learning anything which comes in our way, whether it's data science, big data, data analytics, anything. So fine, guys, keep your environment ready, keep your system ready, and see you again in our next lecture. So where I'll be talking about the concept part. With that, thank you so much, everyone. Take care, everyone.